And here we are with the cosmic clock. Well, the sun has progressed to step 11. That means it's time for us to step into integrity. Stepping into integrity with our mind, that's Gemini. So today we step into intellectual integrity. But the mind is getting plenty of help. On the one hand, to the left, Mercury. Mercury has retrograded back to step 7, Gemini. That means our thoughts, I think, are actually focused on intuition. So along with this integrity, it looks like we are calling in our own intuition to help us bring integrity. And the third planet in the triad is Mars. Mars today is at step 15. Now step 15 is I love and I think, which is when we bring peace of mind. So step 15 is the artist. It is the peace of mind step. And so really the combined three on this side of the equation is integrity, intuition, and receiving love. Now, like I said, this is a stellium, these three planets, and today, because we have a full moon, this stellium is opposing the moon. But not just the moon, another stellium. The moon is in Sagittarius and will reach step 11 at exactly 12:17 p.m. Eastern Time today. That's when it will reach its highest, what I call apex. And the moon, of course, is conjuncting the Earth at that time in Sagittarius. This is why a full moon is such a big deal. We feel all of our emotions here on Earth with the moon and the Earth. And we also feel this tug-of-war between our heart, the sun, and our emotions. In this case, our heart is focused on the mind, Gemini, and our emotions today are focused on our philosophies. Now, I'm calling this the Fool's Gold full moon. And that's because of the nature of the stellium on the full moon side of the fence. We have, of course, the moon and Earth, but we also have Saturn. At the bottom of this spiritual cord, Saturn is at step 0 Sagittarius. That means that as we make this spiritual pulling apart, Saturn is making us be responsible, Saturn, for protecting all of our possible unlimited beliefs. Remember yesterday we had crossed and opened up to unlimited potential belief? Well, so today we have from this step 0 unlimited potential all the way up to step 11. Now, technically, our expertise is where Saturn is. Usually we're no better than Saturn. So that means that this full moon is actually getting us to create this image, this step 11 ghost of what this Saturn will be. You follow me? And we also have Pallas. I haven't talked about Pallas in a long time. Pallas is the daughter of Jupiter. Wherever it is, it represents kind of where our imagination is running wild, creating this wonderful potential. In other words, it has to do with humanitarian, it has to do with education in some cases. It has to do with basically building a wonderful society with resources. It's what you would do with Jupiter knowledge. So the stellium that opposes the sun is basically our feelings and reality, which is Earth. This huge hope in the future, this fool's gold hope with Pallas, and the actual reality of what we've learned, step 0. So it's a very interesting full moon. But wait, there's more. We have a grand trine today in fire. This grand trine is triggered by the moon, so calling into all this existence is this grand trine where the moon and Earth at step 11 will trine first over to Jupiter at step 16. So this is the push now for our hearts, for our love to expand. So we're taking this full moon passion and we're connecting it to our heart. And Uranus at step 19. Uranus is developing the new ego and the new character and manifesting that new character ego. So you can see here we don't just have an opposition, we don't just have a tug-of-war, but we have a grand trine of fire to swoop up our emotions and carry them away. I think this is all really for us to separate from an old way of thinking. But wait, there's more. A Pluto yod. I feel like I'm in the grand prize game or something. And this Pluto yod, I think, is the tip of the iceberg. This is the final geometric equation of the day. This ultimately is what really determines if you are holding on with dear life to some old way of thinking, it's probably tied to a Capricorn decision or a Capricorn rule. So this yod is the final straw, and it basically says, if we've said day after day, take that Jupiter and take that Mars, basically. Mars is your aggressive side, Jupiter is your expansion of love, and break the rules. Create your own rules, change the way it has been done. That's the top of the yod. Now, one final point of that yod is Venus. she's actually swinging at the bottom of this yacht, and I think this is where our emotions at the bottom, opposing this Pluto energy, opposing the yacht, it is in fact our feelings that are swinging here at the bottom that determine whether or not we're going to go ahead and change those rules. So this gigantic, complicated geometric equation of consciousness, it comes down to how you feel. Now, Venus is, by the way, step 27, and she says go with how you feel 2 and what you sense 7. So feelings are already voting on what feelings tell you and what your senses tell you. I hope you followed all of that, but that is the fireworks of today. Pretty intense. Well, what does it all come down to? Well, first, let's talk about Tower of Truth. In the Tower of Truth, I just want to point out we have 2 today on each side so you can look at it. We have the Gemini Tower of Truth where at the bottom we have Mercury at step 7, the Sun at step 11, and Mars at step 15. What's interesting here with this Tower of Truth is that the step differential is a perfect 6. 6 steps between each planet there. Beautiful. 6 is I receive. So we are really in a harmonizing event. Flipping to the other side of this tower today in the full moon, at the bottom we have Saturn at step 0 Sagittarius, the moon and earth apex today at step 11, like I said, and Pallas is up at step 23. Interestingly enough, we have a step 10 differential between the rules and reality, so we have to manifest it literally, and then from reality up to Pallas, it's a step differential of 12. So the difference between reality and the fantasy is belief, 12. Interesting stuff, right? So, like I said, I'm moving things around just a little bit today, and we're going to move on right now to today's telepathy. I'm going to go straight here to today's telepathy, and Joy Quest will be now just before the zodiac weather. So, today in today's telepathy, we're looking at Gemini cutie pies. Gemini cutie pie. So from my temple to yours, I'm imagining a Gemini cutie pie today, and I'm looking at Gemini celebrities. And I imagined male cutie pies. This is for my female audience to make you girls happy. Which Gemini cutie pie am I talking about? And I'm thinking cutie pie from the way girls have talked about these guys, by the way. Number 1, is it cutie pie Neil Patrick Harris? Is it number 2, cutie pie Johnny Depp? Oh, I think I heard screams just now when I said that. Or is it number 3, Gene Wilder? Which cutie pie Gemini am I thinking of? I'll have the answer right after this.